experiencing life with a difficult person? Okay, better described as a toxic individual. Is it your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, your boss, your dad, your mom, or even your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Difficult is an understatement for most people if it has to be a situation where they are co-parenting. So that can be really hard for those kind of relationship. I'm not a relationship expert, by the way. I'm just talking about dynamics of communication and relationships. So, and we want to talk about the best way to deal with situations like this. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Habiba. I am a registered mental health and substance use nurse. I'm a registered psychiatric nurse. I'm a global mental health expert, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. This episode promises to be as informative as always, and thank you all for coming. If it's your first time here, you're most welcome. Welcome to the family. If it's your regular thing to come up here, I'm most appreciative. Thank you so much. You all are so awesome. Today's topic is how to leave a toxic relationship and do what you gotta do to get to promote your mental health and well-being. How best to support you, help you, guide you, and lead you to that destination that you've always tried or wanted to do, but you never got that push, or you never understood why those things were happening enough for you to stay. So stick around and watch up until the end. Hi, so this video is not for everyone, but it's for you if you can identify some certain features about yourself. If you believe you're losing your sense of self, you're losing your self-worth, you don't know who you are anymore, you feel you have actually lost your set goals in a way that you always know you would have done that if it was not with that person. If you understand yourself well enough and you're self-aware well enough to know that this isn't you and you've lost your mental health totally, then this video is for you. So there's no black and white rule about this, but I will say this for free. Don't invest too much of you into a person that will never change. This is because the hope you have that this person is gonna change is what stops you from healing. Yes, I don't expect anyone to believe a difficult person will change, because we do not have the power to change them, especially if they are narcissists. So if you're in a toxic relationship now, please wake up to the reality of the situation. Most of individuals who experience a toxic relationship hide themselves to stay in the relationship. But do you know what you're doing to yourself when you do that? You're making them steal your sense of self. The moment you're not sure of yourself anymore, you have begun to lose your sense of belonging and future. Fair enough, you do not need to feel so much hurt and pain around difficult people. Any person can change, but a toxic person can never change. Behavioral change is not a joke. Remember, many things were embedded before that type of person emerged. It could have been from a result from a faulty upbringing. It could be adverse childhood experiences or childhood trauma. It could be from a toxic parenting style, and many more. So in essence, it takes a whole life of readiness, awareness, commitment, therapy, and even time for that toxic person to change. It could be much more challenging than you think. So why not you think of changing yourself, which is to leave? The biggest decision ever is to leave. Yes. Why is it such a big deal, by the way? Why do people find it or feel so uneasy to leave? I'll tell you in 1 minute. So I want to make a request at this point. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not. You're watching this for free. Okay, not for free. You're taking most of your precious time, but please, you're getting very great information. And it's basically to promote your mental health and well-being. I'm waiting 1 minute. Subscribe, guys. And don't forget to like this video if you're enjoying this topic. So let's get back into it. Thank you. I was talking about why it's a big deal for you to leave a toxic relationship. So most often is due to conditions around fear. I mean, one partner is likely to be extremely manipulative. And what happens when someone is manipulative? In most abusive relationships, these frequently involves making physical, emotional, or financial threats if the other person talks about leaving. As a result, the victim might be afraid to leave their partner. There's also the fact that if it's a parent relationship, like father-child, mother-child, where the parents are the ones that are toxic towards the child, and the child has to deal with this, the child will be stuck, has no place to go, especially children from most underdeveloped countries where your life depends on whatever your parents gives you in terms of feeding, shelter, education, you know. So he or she has to just deal with them and live with them, and that's not nice. It takes someone who is bold and extremely courageous as a child to leave those parents. Where are you gonna go? I'm just saying, in the real world, where are you gonna go? I'm not talking about developed world where child protection services are very functional and effective, you know. So there's more protection for such children to run for help. What do you do as a child? That can be really tasking. There's also the fact that some people have issues with children. I mean, couples who have children together, they find it challenging to leave because of the perceived negative impact on the children. They may also be concerned about custody. There's the fear of finances, investments that they've shared together. These are things that makes it so difficult for some people to leave such toxic relationship. And then there's part of those that are in love, or should I say in lust, L-U-S-T, because most times we're so delusional to see the lines in between. When somebody's abusive, there will be lingering feelings of love in that relationship, but to me it's not love. If you are in an abusive relationship and you call that love, no. So the first step to healing is acceptance. These behavioral dynamics is not gonna change. So when they invalidate you, they shame you, they insult you, they criticize you, someone who is expected to love you, care for you, you know, support you, not that you agree into their behavior, but being able to accept that this is not my fault and this is happening to me. That's what we mean by acceptance. Although I just say, once you know that, it takes the ability for you to know. There's so much strength for you to be able to know that this is not your fault. Because some people blame themselves. There's so much self-blame around it. Some people make excuses for them and believe, oh, it's because he has some issues he's dealing with. Now, if someone truly loves you, the person should not abuse you. The person should rather care for you. So there's also the fact of shame, especially in underdeveloped countries or developing countries. You know, divorce is something they don't want to talk about. Some are afraid to share things like this with their friends, families, and acquaintances. They silently suffer because they're afraid to talk to people for help. Some people turn to drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism, which is very maladaptive. It worsens the toll that relationship is going to take. There's also the challenge of codependency. It can be hard to break free from an imbalanced relationship dynamics when one partner consistently gives and the other takes. So there's so many things we can talk about. A lot of things: health insurance, money, so many things. We're not gonna say all of that here now because of time, but let's just know that if you keep waiting without doing anything about it, you're wasting your future, you're wasting your time. So the question now is, what exactly is the best thing to do? I'll mention 5 things you can do. First one will be build your social support. What I'm saying here is you want to do something in a very conscious step-by-step approach. That was a bird. Like I said, it's challenging and I cannot deny that fact, but you can actually live using this step-by-step approach. Build your social support. Try create a kind of safety net. If you're thinking of calling a quits, make a plan for how you're going to deal with the transition, where you're going to be living, what possessions will you need to bring along. You know, you have to be able to think about that. Don't do it in a haphazard way. Think about it very well, in a logical fashion. You have to set a goal to be independent. That's the next step. Put your mind, your thought process in that direction. If you do not have a career or a way to support yourself, then it's time to do so. You can go to school and get some training. You can get a vocational job. It doesn't have to be a high-class job. You can always start from somewhere. What matters is there is dignity in labor, and you would grow gradually from that job. I mean, there's nothing as good as financial freedom. And number 3 is talk to somebody. You don't have to keep it a secret. Confide in a family member. If you don't have great families, talk to a friend. There are great friends out there that act like families. You just have to find them. Do the action. This is because you need them to help you through this process. If you feel threatened, inform the local authorities that will help you. Another thing is to seek professional help. I can't overemphasize on that. When you're living and you're recovering from a toxic relationship, you definitely need to take some effort and time. So you should reach out to licensed therapists, a licensed counselor. I mean, therapists can be a great resource to guide you. They can hold you accountable for creating and meeting your goals. An experienced family law attorney is also very necessary when you're living a marriage. The therapist is going to help you with your transition process so that you don't break down, because obviously it's a painful thing. It's not like it's so easy, but what I'm saying here is you need to do what you need to do to get the healing you need. You don't also want to see yourself stuck or stalking around your partner or that toxic individual. You need to leave. And there should be no contact. Do you know why? Because toxic people are cunning. They use emotional blackmail to lure you back. When you make the decision to leave your partner, stop every decision to keep communicating with them, except you have children with them. So communication about the children should be involved. If you need to file a restraining order, then please do so. Those are the 5 things you need to do. But it can be very challenging, but it's doable. You just need to do them to get your mental health perfect. You don't want to lose your self-esteem. You don't want to lose your self-worth. You don't want to lose your mental health. You want to try to promote your mental health and well-being. And then that warrants you take these actions. It's a function of your goals. When I talk about goals, I mean, how do you keep your goals, priority, and happiness intact in a toxic relationship? Ask yourself about that. How? For you to keep them intact, then you have to do all of these 5 steps or tips I just mentioned. I'll rephrase it again. Build a safety net. Set a goal to be independent. Let somebody know about it. Seek professional help. And the last but not the least is no contact with that toxic person. Yes. So guys, I hope this is helpful. I hope you all learned from this. I'm hoping I'll have more topics around this, because this is increasingly happening around the world, both in developing, underdeveloped, and even in developed countries. I mean, it's affecting people across the globe, and I just thought it's a topic to discuss. I'm hoping you give me lots of comments in the comment section below. Talk to me about what you've used in the past to be able to deal with a toxic relationship or a toxic partner or a toxic family member. Tell me about what your experience was. If you don't want to share it, that's okay, but tell us how you were able to resolve it. Did you leave? Was the leaving effective? What were the steps, or what were the scenarios that you applied to make living easy for you? Share it down in the comment section below. That will be helpful for many people to learn from. And like I said, this platform is basically to promote our mental health and well-being. Go build yourself. Find something that's much more soothing, self-soothing, and healthier for you. It is never too late to become healthier. Mentally healthy, physically healthy, and yeah, whatever affects the physical affects the mental, and vice versa. And so whatever you can do is to what you can do is to fight for yourself to stay healthier. How you decide what comes into your life is where your wellness begins. So guys, I would like you to share in the comment section below how you feel living can be eased. I just shared with you things you would expect. Yes, but you just have to do what you got to do. There's so much brighter things to do in the future beyond staying stuck in a relationship that's so toxic and to get you nowhere. So do what you got to do, but then make sure you follow the steps so that it can ease your exit process. It's such a very sad topic. I don't encourage divorce. I don't encourage breakups. I don't encourage all of this. But if it's going to hinder you from promoting your mental health and well-being, do what you gotta do. Yes, puppets. Don't be the puppet for them. Tell them no. Obviously, when you say no and you leave, or you give that they fight you back. But get ready for it. And that's why I said, in getting ready for that, you want to prepare all of this in mind. Having that mindset that, okay, and you're also going to be understanding the fact that these steps has to have some strong support to not let me go back into that ditch. You know what I mean? Especially when it's got to do with challenging situations where money is involved, or investments is involved, or children are involved. But just know what your boundaries are in that regard. I ain't gonna say more than that. So guys, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm gonna be showing up in my next video. Stay tuned to my channel. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. You are all so awesome. Don't forget to stay healthy. Seek therapy. Licensed therapists, by the way. Ensure you talk to a licensed therapist when you're struggling with things like this. Don't hesitate to make sure that you're sure that it is a situation of losing your mental health that makes you leave. I'm not encouraging everybody to leave any relationship, but if you're losing yourself, you're losing your mental health, it's costing you your life, you're not sure of who you are anymore, and you know you know who you are, what you've always been, but you see the difference, you're self-aware enough to understand that no, your mental health must not go down the drain, then take action to leave. That's what this video is all about. I'm not saying everybody should leave their relationship or to leave their family or to, no. I'm just saying if it's taking a toll on your mental health and you're breaking down, please leave. Seek for a licensed therapist. They're going to guide you. They're going to help you, okay? And don't hesitate to talk to your healthcare provider if you feel you have some mental health symptoms. There's nothing as good as prevention is better than cure, and that's why I'm bringing this out there so that you can work on things early enough to prevent further damage. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.